Learn about God's blessings in your life today with Gabriel's Gospel Grace. Well, hello and welcome to our Good Friday edition of Favoured Friday. And I hope you've had a good week. So it's Good Friday. This is the day that we I know it sounds weird, doesn't it? Because it's Good Friday, but it's the day that Jesus was executed, is how we would have to see it. But the reason it's good is because it is the door that opened the way to restore our relationship with God. You want to know more about that? Check out our other episodes. But this is our Good News Day. This is where it's all about the positive things in our week. And it has been a positive week. I've been running around sorting all sorts of things out for Easter, but also I've got events that come up from next week. So that's another reason I'm having to run around being organised. I've had to appear on a couple of church episodes and with some other ministries as well. But the best bit is meeting people and spending time with people. And I think you all know that by now. That's definitely one of the blessings I like to bless people with. And that's the opportunity for good conversation and fellowship, no matter what the circumstances. But the other thing that seemed to happen this week is there seems to be quite a lot of birthdays. A lot of people came to my attention with regards to birthdays. In fact, one of the ladies who's in our end What's Been Good in Your Week snippet, it's actually her birthday this week. So happy birthday to you. And it was also my grandma's birthday. Now, my grandma's actually now 95, but talking to her, she was reflecting on the time before COVID. And she brought up in something in particular, which was her 90th birthday, for which I laid on a little bit of a surprise. And as this was part of the conversation, how much she was enjoying it, she said just thinking back to only 5 years ago, how much it was one of the great experiences of our life. So I thought, you know what? That's a good news story. So let's share it with you. Hope you enjoy this. Okay, so today is a special day for Grandma because it's her 90th birthday and she's spending it with me, her grandson. But I've got a surprise for her and it should be a bit of an adventure. Not sure how she's going to react, but I suppose we'll find out soon enough. So, it's your special day out and I told you I had a surprise for you.
Yeah.
And be prepared for an adventure. Right then, so I definitely need your reaction to this. So, thinking about your heroes of the past.
Yeah.
And even your namesake, Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
And what other kind of films did you used to like?
Oh, I like cowboys. They were my favourites.
Yeah. And then when we come to the Robin Hoods and stuff.
Yeah, I like them, yeah.
Your Knights and your Cavaliers and all that.
Yeah, I like all them sort of things. I like historical films.
Cool. And you like to relate to them sort of things?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I like to pretend I'm there.
Cool. Even better then for today. Because to me, I'm not material. I'm all about experiences and memories. And really that's what today's about. Our memories and recreating a few of them. But also experiences. Now I know one experience you've always wanted is impractical for financial and legal and political and even religious reasons, is can't take you to Egypt today. So I'm afraid the pyramids. However, today I'm going to make what other little girls around the country's dreams come true for you. And it's something you happen to mention, which is your own mistake for mentioning it the other week. But I was thinking, it's not really fair when you watch all these cowboy films and you watch all these Knights and Cavaliers to not actually know what it's like to ride a horse. So you're actually having a riding lesson.
I tell you what,
the school are aware.
Can get me on the horse because...
Well, I'll be there to do it, but it just happens some of the data they needed was to know your height and your weight. And guess what? The same day you mentioned them things to me, coincidentally. So you're about to go for a riding lesson. And I'll be honest now, I only told my dad the other night, and you can imagine what happened with him. I did tell him, are you sitting down? So he's in a panic. So you've got nothing to worry about because Dad's worrying for you. But
I tell you what, when I went to Spain, there was where they used to make some of them spaghetti westerns.
Yeah.
And there were horses and all that, and you could just get on them. Well, I'd never been on a horse before, and I went to get on this horse. God, I didn't think they were as wide as that. I thought my legs never going to go over. It did eventually, but the horse was that wide. I thought, God, I never knew they were this big.
Well, today it's not just sit on the back of a horse. You're actually going to, she said that she wants to give you a proper lesson. So you're actually going to have a proper riding lesson. And obviously being 90 years old.
Yeah. Always wanted to learn how to ride a horse.
Well, there we are then.
I always wanted to go riding lessons years ago. But I'm more agile then than I am now.
You've enjoyed it?
Yes, I really enjoyed it.
Do you think you're going to be a cowboy now?
I always thought it was going to be one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
What a great day that was. You see, that's the thing, isn't it? That sometimes you think things are always too late, but it's never too late. There's always time. There's always time to do something new. And even now, it's Easter. It is about rebirth. It's also about saying goodbye to the past. Now, for some people out there, this might be a time you're looking at your faith and looking at, do you believe? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in Jesus? I know at Easter time, this is one of them times when most people suddenly become aware and conscious of what their spiritual thoughts and beliefs might be. Is there a life after death? Is there a resurrection? Will we go to heaven? These are all questions people want to know. My point is, Why not ask today? Why wait till tomorrow? Simply step forward and do something new, which is exactly what I did there with my grandma. And I want to thank the riding school, because not many schools would have actually allowed for someone of that age. And I know many people said they wouldn't take people over 65. So there you are. And now she's 95, so she's still going, and I'm sure there's many new opportunities for her in the future. But in the meantime, that was a very special moment for her, and it was a lifetime dream come true. But that makes it a precious moment.
Welcome everyone to Favoured Friday, and thank you, Gabe, again for this opportunity to share again. And today I just want to read from the book of 1 Peter chapter 5, reading from verse 6 and 7. It says, "Humble yourself, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you." God is saying to us to humble ourselves. In other words, we choose to agree with God, not with what the circumstances are telling us. To agree with God, choose to trust God and cast all our anxiety on him, because he cares for us. This is what we call humility, when we submit ourselves to God. That's humility. He knows the pain of our hearts. He knows that anxiety. He knows everything that's worrying us. And he's saying to us, humble yourself and trust me. He's saying cast all your anxiety. He says everything. Release it to the Lord. That's how much he wants to have a relationship with us, because he wants to help us. Like we saw in the previous episodes in Matthew 11 verse 28. He says he wants to show us the unforced rhythms of grace. He won't lay anything heavy on us or ill-fitting. He wants to help us. He wants to show us how you do life. Therefore, he's saying, bring that thing that's heavy on your heart. Bring it to me. Cast it all, because I care for you. Our bodies were not created to carry these things. That's why today we see so many kinds of disease and everything, because we are not created to carry stuff. And he says, bring it to me, cast it on me. And he says, I will give you rest. This is called real rest. True rest is only found in Jesus. Therefore, I encourage you today, in whatever that you're struggling with, lay it all before the Lord in a love relationship. He loves you. He cares about you. And he says, bring it to me. And he will show you the way. He'll give you wisdom, because he is the way, the truth, and the life. He will show you. It doesn't matter what it is. He will show you a way out of that, and that a way of life. I encourage you today. Receive God's help today. Humble yourself and receive God's help today. Have a blessed weekend and rest in him. God bless.
Thank you for that precious moment. Yes, rest in him. It's good because it's obviously a holiday season at the moment, Easter and bank holidays. I'm pretty sure it's the same in the States as in the UK. But do we find rest, or do we busy ourselves? Do we find that precious moment that we can share ourselves with the Lord, to sit in silence, to learn to switch off, to still our mind, to listen to the thoughts and ignore many of them? You see, to find rest does take a bit of effort, and the effort mainly comes from learning to switch off, give yourself permission to put your feet up, and also to say no to things at times. Now, as it happens, I was blessed to be a guest on Precious's own channel, the Light Life Ministry, and that's where my main Christmas message is. So I believe she will be uploading it for tomorrow, which will be Easter Saturday, but I will, as soon as it's available, put a link in the description. So if you want my Christmas message and you want to be blessed by going on to Precious's channel and subscribing there, then please check back tomorrow and leave a comment. But finding rest is not easy, but it should be. So keep that in mind for this Easter. And of course, rest is often thought about when it comes to the weekend and what is coming in the next week. So let's find out what has been good in your week.
Not the weather, that's for sure. What's been good? Enjoying life. Having work to go to and dog to look after and people around us, family members, as in those we're related to, and having a church family as well. Prayer meetings, Sunday services, fellowships. That's been good in our week from my point of view.
That's all been really good. And we have had Molly, our puppy, out for the first time around the sheep just in the last few days. So that was really exciting. So we're seeing the sheepdog traits in her, that she's got a real aptitude for chasing sheep. So that's encouraging. So we'll be harnessing that in coming months. So we'll have a proper wee sheepdog, working dog for us. So she'll be a cracking dog for that.
Don't come up to strangers asking advice.
Don't ask me, ask someone else. I don't know. I think we've said before, Gabe, that our advice would be really dependent on the person and talking to them and getting to know them and hearing what the Lord's got to say to them. So it's always going to be the same. We want to hear from the Holy Spirit what he wants to bless somebody with, whether we know them or not, and minister and speak into those things.
The weekend, having two of us about all day, getting stuff done together, and not relaxing, because I don't think that happens, but enjoying it together.
If I get to stay in my bed until 8 a.m, it's a lion, so I'll maybe look forward to a wee lion. And yeah, spending time together and getting things done together is good. We're rearranging some bits and pieces in the house, so there'll be a little bit of housework to do. There'll be croft stuff to do. There'll be animal stuff to do. There'll be church stuff to do. So plenty of things to love and enjoy together.
So, Sue, what's the good news of your week?
Oh, good news of this week just gone. There's good news every week, but this week I've just finished my book, actually. Just got to the final editing on my new book, and so I've been quite a busy time writing that. It's called Okie Dokie for Old Fogies.
So, Sue, what is it about?
What is it about? Well, it's a lot of fun, a lot of funny stories. It's Christian comedy, but it's a lot of funny stories from my own life. interspersed with all my favourite jokes. You know, when you've got all these lovely favourite jokes and you just want to collect them all together, and they've been put together in a book. There is an underlying Christian message in there about, you know, keeping positive and staying joyful in different circumstances, because, you know, the Bible does tell us about, you know, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning, and that it gives us healthy bones. You know, when you laugh, it's actually healthy to laugh. More healthy to laugh than scowl.
And if you were meeting a stranger this week who came along to your own fellowship, and they're just feeling a little bit lost in the world, feeling no sense of direction, what advice would you give them?
If they came for the first time? Well, really to let them know that, you know, we're there for them. That's what we want to do in the Manor House. We want to be there for people. But we would point them to Jesus, explain that we've been there. You can never really fully understand anybody else's pain unless you've been through it, and even when you've been through it, you still can't really fully understand their pain. But I think just letting people know that we're there for them, we're family, because what we're trying to build here in the Manor House is a family. It's all about relationship with God and relationship with each other, and so we will point them to Jesus, but in a gentler way. You know, we try not to Bible bash people, because that's not what it's all about. It's about loving people, and what people need to know, the gospel, the good news, is that God is love, and he loves them, and he has a plan for their life as well. So we try and help them in a spiritual way, but also in a practical way.
Amen. Now also, I know, my viewers don't know yet, but you're also a bit of a comedian, aren't you?
Oh no.
So have you got a one-liner joke for us? Come on.
He's put me on the spot now, right? Give us a clue.
One of them things that you throw in the park.
Oh, well, that's true. It's a true story, actually. I was playing frisbee this morning with Mike up on the top yard there. You know, we were throwing this frisbee about, and I said to him, as he chucked it at me, "How is it that these frisbees, when they get closer, the closer they get to you, the bigger they get?" And then it hit me. Thanks. My husband always helps me, you know. He's my stooge. I can tell jokes about him, but he also helps me and gives me a cue now and again.
Well, thank you for that, sir. That's quite amusing. But the final bit is there anyone that you'd like to be given a prayer of blessing for this weekend?
Oh, yes. I've got so many people that I'd like to give a prayer of blessing for, mainly the people of Cacowan, because we believe God sent us on a mission up here to these people in Cacowan. People that we're praying for. I'm not going to name names, actually, because people don't always like that, but there's people in this village that are sick, that need help. There's people in this village that are depressed, that are suffering. There's people in this village that are lonely, and I want to pray for them. And I also want to pray for you, Gabriel, because you've been a blessing to us.
Well, thank you, Sue. I can promise you that we and the other ministry team here will join in this weekend with the prayers too.
Thank you very much.
God bless.
God bless you.
I've had something I dreamed about all my life. I've had my first riding lesson on a horse.
How was it?
Oh, absolutely wonderful.
Do you think it's something you wish you could have done more often in the past?
Yeah, dream come true.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you think you're going to be riding in your dreams tonight?
I don't know about that.
So apparently it's been a great week out there from what I gather. And happy birthday both to my grandma and to Sue. Now Sue mentioned her book and she mentioned she was just finishing it. Well, breaking news. Here it is. Okie dokie for old fogies. Not sure we're going to get away with that after the 1st of April. However, it is available shortly to purchase online from Amazon. In fact, it's so new, it's literally like a week old. So I can't actually put a link in the description. But if you check back soon, I will add one as soon as I can. So it is Easter. It is that time. I'm sure people are getting ready to tuck into Easter eggs. They're possibly already having hot cross buns for today, and probably joining family and friends for a meal this weekend. But remember, the purpose is to realise that God made a way. God gave us his only begotten Son because he loved the world. And that means he loves you. So no matter what you're going through, no matter how tough times might be, just remember, God's waiting for you. It's as simple as cracking your Easter egg. In fact, possibly simpler. Have a great Easter. God bless. If you were blessed by this video, why not give it a like? Also subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of future videos.